Blessings all. So I wanted to do the YouTube challenge, and I was able to look up the question for this week. And at first thought, wow, that's kind of a stupid question. But that's me in my haste, because then I thought about it and realized that there is so much more to it than at first. Excuse me, I'm going to look really weird here for a second. Okay. But yeah, there's so much more than I was first thinking about. You know, I was just considering, what do we think about this time of year? And it's like, well, we already talked about Imbolc, and I just didn't really get it. But then I started thinking about, yes, it is Imbolc. And then I thought, today, this day specifically, is February 1st. And I kind of, associating the two things, really found a connection that I had never thought of before. And this question coming up at this time brought it to my mind. And first, I'm going to give you a real quick background that I'm sure you all know on Imbolc that has kind of brought me to this connection. Brigid is both the mother and the maiden. Mother and daughter, right? And Imbolc is a time of new beginnings. Oh, and one more. Imbolc means use milk. It's not really part of it, but it's kind of funny still. But, okay, so the connection is with February 1st. 15 years ago today was what set things off. Actually, maybe just about a week before that. I was living in eastern Idaho, and that's up in the area of the Grand Tetons, the Rocky Mountains, very cold, lots of snow, lots of ice, much of the year. About 2 years before this, my father had passed away, and my mother, very matter-of-factly, was, "You're going to move home now, aren't you?" And, you know, I couldn't say no. I was just kind of like, okay, you know, I have my home, I have my career, I have my social life, but okay, Mom didn't want to be alone. So I moved home with my family, and so now here I am living with my mom, and this was the last week of January in 2001, and we were coming home one evening, very cold. I mean, it was often colder than that, but I think on this night it was 20 degrees, not counting wind chill, which accounts for a lot of it up there. And one of my chickens came out to meet us, and my mother, in her distraction, was kind of shooing the chicken away and ended up tripping over her and broke her ankle. I'll just make the long story short. She ended up residing on the couch, and I was caring for her, you know, night and day, hand and foot type of thing, right? And hand and foot, hand and mouth, you know what I mean. About a week later, on February 1st, I was out trying to move some of the sheep. This is where the sheep come in, because lambing was ready to begin, and so I needed them in the right pens with the right shelters and so on and so forth. And my little ram was, I guess, in a particularly feisty mood, and he attacked me and broke my knee. So all of a sudden, I was on the adjoining couch, and my daughters, who were very young at the time, were responsible for all the chores and taking care of the animals and everything. Up until this time, my mother and I had a good relationship. We were mother and daughter, and we were pretty close, but we were close as mother and daughter. But then we spent about 2 to 3 months sitting on adjoining couches, watching old mysteries on the TV, playing cards, telling stories, and honestly becoming friends. And we bonded in such a way that was super meaningful. I'm going to start crying. Oh my gosh. It was really, really something that it was a gift. And I used to joke around saying, thank God for broken bones. But with this question, I kind of put it to thought, and it's like, truly, thank the goddess for broken bones, because she gave us a new beginning and a beginning as friends. That summer, my mother died. And so at that point, I did not lose just my mother. I had lost my best friend. But if we did not have those broken bones together, it would have just been losing my mother. And as horrible as that is, I truly feel that I was given a gift, and I really think that did come from the goddess. She gave us a new beginning, and I'm able to still talk to her, and I know she's around, and I'm sure we'll see each other again. I totally believe in reincarnation, but I also think that we come back at least somehow associated with those that we are close to. Spirits look for each other, and especially when you've got a strong bond, and there really was one. There really is one. And, I guess it was always there, because I have 5 sisters and 3 brothers. None of them were ready to move home and hadn't even seen her for years. But, yeah, that's what I think about with this time of year. The gifts that come to us, and the chances to start over and learn and grow. And that's all I wanted to say. So I want all of you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful night, and blessed be.